That's a great question. So how does Flexera Cloud Cost Optimization differentiate in what is quite a busy market in the FinOps tooling space? I get super excited about this. Flexera Cloud Cost Optimization solution is highly differentiated. There's more than, 4 key areas really where we differentiate. Number one is really in the space of the costs that we ingest. Most FinOps vendors, of course, will focus on the big cloud service providers, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. But Flexera has had support for the ingestion of almost any bill data. That can include licensing, SaaS applications, labor costs, really whatever you can think of. That's also enabled us to support the focus standard from the FinOps Foundation, which is an attempt to normalize and standardize the bill data that comes in from those vendors. Now that's really important for customers and partners alike because we want to provide a total cost of ownership view within the Flexera platform so that when I'm thinking about cost allocation, maybe for showback or chargeback use cases, for budgeting and of course for forecasting, I'm looking at all of the cost that is included in running the applications and services that I provide, for my customers. So that differentiation means that, Flexera can show you the true cost of running a service. And then when you think of more advanced KPIs like unit economics, where we're trying to measure maybe the cost of delivering a service, cost per customer, cost per unit or cost per transaction, depending on what your application is doing, we're looking at the actual unit cost, not just the cost of running the cloud bill. Second areas where we differentiate them will be in how we present that data. We provide a true multi-cloud view of that spend, and that can be quite difficult because with such a wide range of data sources that we ingest, we have to do some normalization of those costs. It's not uncommon for us to do currency conversion. Again, Flexera supports any ISO standard currency within the platform, and we can automate the conversion of that currency data using integrations with vendors such as xe.com, who provide us currency rates for almost any currency globally. The second part of that, of course, is then removing things like tax or other costs that maybe are not consistently applied across the cloud vendor bill. Those adjustments also enable our partners to add in other additional costs, maybe the costs of services that they're providing, consultancy or whatever it might be, and also adjusting the kind of rates and discount mechanisms that the cloud vendors include so that they can, make margin on the services that they're providing. The third area that we differentiate is in our automation space. Many providers in the FinOps market, of course, produce a range of optimization recommendations, but Flexera's approach to this is a little bit different. We do provide a range of optimization recommendations and, of course, recommendations around best practices for compliance and security and operational use cases. Tag management governance, for example, is one. But the way that we go about this is very differentiated. We enable our customers or our partners to configure those recommendations at a low level of detail. So you can set, for example, the parameters around CPU and memory thresholds for right sizing. You can decide if you want average CPU or minimum or maximum values, and even use percentiles where it makes sense to do so. That catalog, over half of the catalog, enables automated outcomes as well. So for our customers operating at significant scale, where it's impossible, of course, to delete hundreds of thousands of unused snapshots or unused EBS volumes, our platform can deliver that automated outcome. Typically, that's used in a non-production environment. And then lastly, as it relates to the automation piece, we actually use an open source approach to that to enable our partners or our customers to produce their own recommendations or even customize out-of-the-box recommendations to deliver outcomes specific to their needs, or of course for our partners to codify their own IP, their own recommendations, and deliver those to partners. Lastly, the area that's most exciting for me really is around how Flexera takes advantage of the convergence of the IT asset management and FinOps domains. Bringing together those two areas of expertise that Flexera is uniquely positioned in enables us to provide recommendations around cloud license management, ensuring that customers are taking advantage of commitments and licenses that they've already purchased and using those in the cloud where they're entitled to do so. That avoids, of course, paying twice for database and operating systems that you've already purchased, and ultimately results in you reducing your cloud bill. The other area where there's clear convergence between those disciplines is in the sustainability space. Again, Flexera uniquely positioned here to provide a view for customers, not just of the carbon emissions, scope 1 through 3 in terms of the devices and hardware that they're running on premise, but also laying over that the sustainability and emissions data from cloud, again, to give them a single pane of glass view into their sustainability footprint.